Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spanish Grand Prix and the Barcelona circuit. It's had a bit of a facelift this year as we've gone back to the more traditional, well, I'd say more traditional. We've gone back to the older version of the circuit, which I think F1 raced on back in 2006 and before, didn't they? Before we had that Mickey Mouse chicane. So we've lost two turns around here. However, I think personally that the changes are absolutely fantastic, isn't it? It makes Spain a difficult challenge indeed. And I think one of the more difficult challenges will be qualifying, actually, which is coming up in just a jiffy. Remember that the tyres are not. I don't think the tyres are going to last the whole lap now. Especially with the very fast end to the circuit. Of course, we've lost the Mickey Mouse chicane, so it's now only 14 turns rather than 16 around here, which you would think in theory will help the drivers. But I think losing that chicane is going to make it even more tricky, isn't it? As we've got lovely shots here of Barcelona. Of course, these drivers should know a lot about Barcelona. Um, I should know a lot about Barcelona because, of course, they do a lot of testing around here, don't they? Anyway, then, yes, let's get on with it, shall we? It's going to be a testing one indeed, isn't it? Um, but I cannot wait. Hopefully, gold may calm down a bit because we've had some action-packed and very feisty racing going on the last couple of weeks or so, haven't they? So, as much as I love drama, intrigue, and all kinds of stuff, I would also wouldn't mind mainly from Far's point of view, probably like a quiet evening, wouldn't they? But nevertheless, that's just selfish on Far's part, really, isn't it? What about us, I say? Time for some. Time for some Spain, is that Nausea saying then. We've also got Eric saying good luck to all. Unfortunately, Mula Investments has retracted their statement. And we have got Equals with hashtag ALR. Luckily, we're quite early tonight, so that means that I've got an opportunity to go through the drivers and the constructor standings before we have any meaningful track running out there. We've also got Debuton out there as well, and we've also got to tell you about two changes. Oh gosh, I just hurt my tooth there. One of the changes, two changes then in the AlphaTauri, and of course, if you all know Helmut Marko, which a lot of you probably know, he is not a man that deals with lets drivers hang around for too much longer than what he wants them to. However, I think getting rid of both Gamer and Siege was a bit harsh. It was a tad harsh, to be honest. Gamer had a great start to the season. Unfortunately, Gamers had to pull off to the side. Then he would no longer be driving in gold. Then he may reserve every now and again, but unfortunately, Gamers had to relinquish his full-time seat, and Siege has also relinquished his seat as well in the second AlphaTauri, unfortunately, and he's also relinquished his seat in. Formula 2 as well, so Siege decided to go MIA. There we go. Nevertheless, we've got two very capable drivers who have shot themselves into the hot seat. We've got a former Grand Prix winner as well in the form of Young Lights, who will be driving the AlphaTauri, which AlphaTauri are going to be loving that then. And of course, Keza as well then, an experienced peddler, will be also, I think this is his first time ever in his career of ALR that he's a full-time driver in ALR Gold. So fantastic to see. Brilliant stuff indeed. Drivers and constructors then, whilst Liam goes for his first attacking from them. We've got a lot of cars out on the circuit. Luckily, that Alpine, I think it was an Alpine behind, just got out of the way of the second car on track at the moment, which is Milan. We have got Troy, who leads the championship by 10 points from Immortal in second position. Percy in for 23 points behind Troy at the moment. But I think that Percy, all the trials and tribulations that Percy's had so far, I think he'd be quite happy with that, to be honest, wouldn't he? Good stuff indeed there. Fourth position is Boxtel. He's shown, I should say, some incredible pace in Imola last time out, didn't he? He was pretty stonking, to say the least. There's the two Haas cars doing a bit of slipstream in here. I'd probably say slipstream is only probably relevant down the back straight, I'd say. Lovely shot here from Liam who's just about to go to the final couple of corners. Box down, fourth position there, of course. Brilliant drive last time out for Box out. He's back to his full-time best then. after I think what's been a very difficult start to his campaign this season. I've got to fourth. So it's good then before he gets under the laps underway then, because we're going to have the lap record is going to be broken in this track because there's a change of configuration. So technically, it's probably a change of the possibly a change in of the lap record anyway. Then we've got Milan, who's gone second fastest, albeit 2/10 of a second away from Liam Yeh, and he is on the medium compound tyres. Marky, I talk about how. Unlucky Percy's been. I think Marky has got the most unluckiest driver award this season. I think he's had the pace, but it just hasn't come to fruition. Then Keza going third. Then on the medium tyres. We made. I spoke about this. I spoke about this in the opening intro of this event here tonight, and that is about tyres. And of course, I know you'll grumble when you hear about tyres. Hello to you, Mumford. By the way, fantastic to see you back in the grid here in Gold. We haven't seen Mumford driving since the end of last season of Season 8 of ALR Gold, so good to see him back. Troy, the championship leader, currently second at the moment. Then we mentioned about tyres, didn't we, just a moment ago? And of course. And of course, with the tyres as well, then I think a lot of drivers, a lot of drivers. We've had about 3 drivers go on the medium compounds at the moment, and I'm wondering if they are concerned about the tyre wear and how bad it's going to be going through 13 and 14, and Marky going in 6th fast at the moment. So we've got a mixture of medium and soft tyres. We had this in Imola as well, didn't we, last week? And I was surmising that potentially, as Coop goes 7th fastest, I was surmising potentially that we could get some rain, but of course I was well off the mark, which is nothing unusual. That is it on board now with Mumford. I'll get his stats up in a minute. He's a lot of oversteer there, and I'm surprised that wasn't that lap wasn't invalidated there. But Mumford carries on nonetheless, driving the Red Bull tonight. Then, so basically, from the 4 Red Bull associated drivers from last week, basically 3 of them are not racing this week. We got Mumford, who's currently 7th fastest at the moment. Only 9 people set a time just so far. Here is the first ever ALR World Champion. It's Nigel making his 95th Grand Prix start tonight, or 94th. I need to get my old spreadsheet up in front of me and get a watch for on it. Well, I'd say that, but I think actually none of the Red Bull drivers, full-time Red Bull drivers, are actually racing it tonight, are they? Nigel on board with now then into second sector. Split time of 51.7 there. Good stuff there for Nigel. Back on board now with Nigel's had a very difficult start to the season. I ain't going for the championship, which is shocking behaviour. But Nigel, who is now 18th in the championship, of course, I think he was 19th, wasn't he, up until where Siege decided to call it a day. But Nigel now up into 18th position, but he's 9th on the track at the moment. But he is his lights are still right in front of him there. I hope that lights was on the lap, I think, and he's had to back off that Red Bull. I think that's Toy Coin then. He has been an absolute marvel in Formula 2, hasn't he? Toy Coin has making his debut tonight in Formula 1 ALR. Lights was on a quick lap there, but unfortunately Toy Coin is really hurting there, hasn't he? But Toy Coin making a debut tonight then here in Gold. I think we've had a couple of, I think we had a late, we did have a full grid, didn't we? Right up until the last hour or so then, which is a bit unfortunate there, isn't it? On board of Boxtown Island. So this is going to be interesting. Liam Yeh is currently fast at the moment, but he is on the soft tyres. Troy is on the medium tyres and he's gone second fastest. So is Milan. He is now on the soft compound tyre. We'll see how this one transpires. But interesting to see that the same strategy for tyre compound, just like it was last week in Imola. I love it. Let me get to the comment show because I've completely ignored you, which is shocking stuff. Lights has retired. Lights has retired. Goodness gracious me, what has occurred? And Cooper's got a 5-second penalty because I think Lights and Cooper have come together. He is out at the 4th corner, which is just before the Cox corner. And unfortunately, Lights is out of qualifying his first run in the AlphaTauri, his first drive in full ALR Gold, and unfortunately he's going to be a spectator now for the rest of the session. That is a nightmare for himself in the AlphaTauri, which has had a pretty shocking start to the season. Of course, AlphaTauri was breaking was breaking records last season with just how incredible they were in the three and the four joint constructors divisions they were participating in last season. This season, not much to write home about. Equals has gone second fastest on 11.8 there, but lights out of qualifying. There's going to be some controversy, I have a feeling, about that incident there. We'll see how that one transpires, but Coop, who has been Ferrari's shining light this season, in 11th position, but he's involved in some unfortunate shenanigans in this qualifying session. Lights out qualifying, a Malta in 4th. Coop, I think, has got a 5-place grid penalty for his misdemeanor against Lights there, which is unfortunate. Percy has done 5 laps on these soft tyres there, down in 14th position. He may need a new set of boots then, but I love that shot, by the way. He goes like Pierre over the hill, fantastic, isn't it? But Percy then, I don't think he's going to improve on this lap, but this is not a quick lap actually, because he hasn't got any deployment. Well, he hasn't used any deployment, I should say that, into the first sector for Vesely. In the second Ferrari, his teammate in 12th position there, but unfortunately his teammate is under investigation, maybe for some shenanigans. Chappers, go Coop, Equals and Chazza. Evening to you, Dylan. Evening, Vintage as well. We've also got Keza. Will Botter. Dylan is saying good gosh. We've got Vintage currently saying good luck drivers as well. As Chappers wants to be a full-time driver next season. Good stuff indeed there for Chappers. Good to see him back in the car, no doubt. As just on board the Ferrari as well. Pit lane bumps and marbles are to watch out tonight. I'll keep you posted on other things I see. Cheers, Ted. Thank you very much, Ted. Yes, thanks, Ted. Tango is our Ted. Is Ted Tango there in the comments there? Of course, there's Tango's technical tips. I think I think it's a great stuff indeed. To be honest, I actually really like that. I wish we could have like pit lane, not pit lane. Are they pit lane reporters? I don't know, like track action reporters or something like that, because technically they're not really in the pit lane, are they, at all? But it's something that really very much helps me out in gold. Then I think it adds a additional dynamic to your viewing pleasure here in ALR, isn't it fantastic? Here's Mumford, default helmet and a default number. However, that's unfortunate there for Mumford, just slightly off. I think Mumford's done a really good job actually in silver this season. He's reserved in silver and done a really good job, hasn't he? Here's Knowlesy, who's back as a full-time driver this season as well, 7.5 minutes ago in this quali session. Coop just crashed me out of qualifying. Oh dear. Camera Racer, hi Sean, hi Racers, good luck all then. For Camera Racer. So it looks like that Lights is not happy about Coop. Then we'll wait to hear Coop's side of the story. But that is not good at all, is it? On board now with Naughty as he is as he is now tackling that turn at 12 into 13 and 14. I do love this new configuration. Well, it's not new configuration, it's 2006 configuration. But I do like it, to be honest. It's so much better, isn't it? Knowlesy, 16 fastest. Unfortunately, the slowest of the time runners so far. We have only got 19 drivers on the grid tonight, which means that it's going to be one less knockout for someone. And plus, with Lights' incident with Coop as well, which means that he is already out of qualifying. Shazza has not come out of the garage just yet, or hasn't set a time just yet. Here's Sloth, fastest there for Sloth there, 0.2 of a second. Brilliant stuff indeed there. Liam did set his time quite about 12-14 minutes ago now in this session, but Sloth there right up there, and that's exactly what the McLaren teams want. That is exactly what Sloth wants as well, as we come down into turn 1 there. Chaza flicking it in car 37 on board with Chaza now. Strong season so far for Chaza, then 5th in the championship. About 17 points away from Boxtel, who the top 4 are starting to spread away ever so slightly at the moment. And we're on board now with Chaz then into turn 4. As I think that's so just going into turn 6. Well, just in a report coming up, and I think that's Lights and Coop, unfortunately. We did not see it on circuit, we did not see it on stream. So I am not going to point the finger or do any judgment of any kind. But I think Barth crashed, didn't he, one season, and we've gone through Cox Corner. Talking of Jonathan Cox there, I have made a bit of a boo-boo with the stats there. I was saying that Jonathan Cox only had 13 pole positions, but that's absolutely a lie. He had 14 pole positions, which is now... so it's now Milan is joint second on 14 pole position. I'm sure Boxtal is also on 14 as well. I can't remember now. I haven't got I need to be more prepared really, but I was more concerned about more concerned about what socks to wear tomorrow for work. Chazza then going into 4 fastest at the moment, and at a good time indeed then. But remember, that is a lot of track evolution then between the times as into the pits comes Percy. I've been hearing a lot about this, and we heard about Tango mention about this bump coming into the pit late here. We might need an on-board shot then for potentially from one of the drivers to see this bump as well, because that's going to get very interesting indeed then as Liam Young's retired from the session. Everyone is now going on to the soft compound tyres for their second time run. As we got Barkachu, I love that name. Hello, good evening to you, Barkachu. Then fantastic to have you in the stream tonight, and that's a good opportunity then. Whilst we've got a bit of a lull in proceedings, to tell you about the drivers and the constructors, which I haven't done yet. 4.5 minutes ago in this session, there is Chatter. It's just crawling back to the pits, and we're just watching one of the new AlphaTauri drivers with lights unfortunately starting 19th on his debut. AlphaTauri debut, I mean. So then, let's go back through it then. Troy leads the championship with a Mortal on second, 10 points separates the top two. Percy on 61 points, 23 points away from Troy. Box Style in fourth position, as I mentioned in Imola last week, was impressive there from Box Style, very much back at the sharp end there. Then we've got Chazza in fifth position, as I said, very good start for Chazza. 17 points away from Box Style. It seems the top four is starting to break away. Mr. Raging Bull, of course, was going to be racing in mud, but he is unfortunately his mother is not very well in hospital with cancer at the moment there, so yeah, he had to pull out later on again then for Mr. Raging Bull. And of course, we all a majority of drivers from gold, and I think from bronze as well, and silver ran some pink helmets there from Mr. Raging. Mr. Raging Bull, and of course we all at ALR is got everything crossed. His mother pulls through, which is an absolutely horrific news indeed there. So yeah, it's one of the most awful things in the world, isn't it? Where your loved one there is not very well. So yeah, it's Mr. Rage. I'll keep repeating the message until we get some good news. I hope your mother pulls through. Seventh position is Milan, who's just retired from the session. He's seventh at the moment. We've just got to watch Keza, who's coming through turn 9. Liam Yen, 8th position. 9th position is Equals, and Sloth in 10th position on 20 points. Nolsey on 19. Marky, the most unluckiest driver on 16, and also German on 16 as well. But German's got technical issues there by the sounds of it, unfortunately. Gosh, and Keza's understeered and oversteered and understeer again. And he has to back off here because that lap is ruined 2.5 minutes ago. Luckily, it's a quicker lap these days. Marky's setting off now. Down in 40th position there. Unusual for Marky to be quite a way back on the grid there, isn't it? Because he's such a quick customer in that Alpine this season. 14th position is Sam Green, also on 16 points there. 15 for Indigo. So tight, isn't it? From 11th down to 15th, 16th there. Cooper's in 16th position there on 14 points. Brilliant run last time. Both Ferraris got some points at Vesey, his first points of the season. Up to 17th, Nigel on 3. Then it's the two AlphaTauri drivers, the new two AlphaTauri drivers. They have raced before in gold, but they have not got points yet this season, both on 0. In the Constructors' Championship, Williams leads the way, 40 points in front of the Mercedes team in second position. Alfa Romeo, strong start to the season, but with German having technical gremlins and not started this race by the looks of things, it means that Alfa Romeo have only got one driver scoring, which is going to hurt them, because McLaren are only 4 points away in fourth position there. AlphaTauri, nightmare start in 5th position, and they've lost both drivers. They're 5th. 6 Red Bull, 7th Aston Martin, 8th is MoneyGram Haas. Marky goes fastest there, and that's a statement of intent. And one of the drivers that have retired there, they're good. They might be a bit concerned for this. Remember, we are losing as Percy goes fast as well in the second. Williams said Haas in 8th, Alpine in 9th, and Ferrari in 10th position on 22 points there. That was a very disjointed championship, wasn't it? But there we go. So good evening all. Good luck to you, Troy Hart 10 on board with Sam Green. Getting too much on the he'd us a bit of frustration there from the Haas car as well. He got on the power there, didn't he? And unfortunately, that is he got a squirrel, and he has abandoned this up and going for again. Mumford on board in the Red Bull. I gotta say, I think Mumford he's been very impressive in silver, and I must say he's been very impressive in the Red Bull tonight. Then Mumford a very late reserve driver, and he's come in and he is absolutely flying in the Red Bull. I'd like to see Mumford have another proper shot at ALR, whether that's in silver or gold then. But Mumford doing a good job tonight in the Red Bull, I love it. Vesey on the lap as well. Toy Coin not making his debut time. I haven't seen much of Toy Coin in the stream just yet, but he's coming around to set a time now. But Coop out of qualifying, Lights out of qualifying as well. We've lost 2 drivers already in this one. Who else is going to be, unfortunately, be in the weakest link of qualifying one then? Yeah, watch that bump on pit entry. It's lethal. Percy doing a race run, Tango is saying then. So Percy has done his race run. Now he has done a quick run and is now fast as said with Markey in second among them. The checker flag has fallen, and it's fallen too early for Toy Coin, who's also lost his wing here. And Toy Coin on his debut tonight in the Gold Championship, unfortunately, maybe out qualifying here, because I think there's going to be a lot of improvement. Here's Mumford. That's a big improvement for Mumford. He is through into qualifying too. Knowlesy across the line now. Knowlesy 14th then. That's on the cusp for Knowlesy. We got Nigel still. We got Vesley up there as well. Yeah, we got Vesley up there. We got Nigel who's abandoned this time then. So it's Toy Coin, Nigel, Coop, and Lights all out of qualifying. And I think that Toy Coin's going to be disappointed with himself there, isn't he, on this debut? Because I think that if he didn't lose that front wing, he potentially could have got through. Knowlesy making it through by the skin of his nose coat, just under a 10th per second there. Vesley jumps up to 14th there. Sam Green made a mistake on his first run, but that didn't matter in the end there. But Toy Coin wingless, and unfortunately also out of qualifying as well then, as we roll on into qualifying 2. 7 laps on that first set, Tango saying for Percy's race run then. What happened to Lights there? We think that Lights and Coop have come to blows in the 4th turn, which is turn 8. And of course, so I think that them two have come to blows, and Lights has said that Coop hit him or something then, but we'll soon find out. I wonder if Coop was maybe trying to warm up his tyres, but he's got a 5-place grid penalty, Coop has, whilst Lights is at the back of the field then. Percy, a very competitive time run, and he's noticed that there's a lot of medium and soft compound tyres being used in this qualifying 1 session, which threw me last week, and to be honest, it's throwing me again now. Of course, soft tyres means you're quicker now. Don't worry, I'll cover for German. Serious Mushroom is saying that. Of course, Serious Mushroom are part of the Alfa Romeo, part of the Alfa Romeo umbrella this season. So of course, he's been a Haas driver for quite a while now, so I think he'd be happy with the Alfa Romeo, or maybe not. Then, as I think I've also seen him very happy for the Haas team as well. No grudges there from the Mushroom. Lights out of qualifying, Nigel out of qualifying, Coop down in 19th position, and Toy Coin damaged the car as down in 16th position there. But look at that then, the top 16 covered by less than a second there. Very competitive here once again in Spain. Aquals and Nigel then with a praying hands there, but unfortunately it's not working out too well, is it? Gordo, good evening, Sean. Good luck, Gold. Good evening to you, Gordo. TK guaranteed podium on Tuesday there for TK, feeling very happy with his performance there. TK has said, I think TK, of course, the bronze driver. TK is a 2-time Grand Prix winner in bronze as well. TK is a 14-time pole sitter in bronze. He's very quick, isn't he? 1-lap pace there. Over last season, he did struggle to get to the checker flag, or did struggle with a few hiccups here and there, but he has of course, but I think this season he has very much been a very good race pace driver as well. Then here's another man with 14 poles to his name. Then it is Milan, as you can see, and also big congratulations to Milan as well, as I have read somewhere that he is going to be a papa. So congratulations to Milan there. So I'm sure he's overjoyed with that result, isn't he? Let's see if he can be overjoyed with this result tonight then, of course, for Milan, Milan has had a couple of run-ins with Percy this season, hasn't he? Now, I think that they're both very competitive drivers, aren't they? They're both very aggressive as well, which I love to see. So let's see then what Papa Milan can do then on this run at the moment. There's all good as speeds. He's gone straight on into the gravel there. That's not going to impress his partner, is it? Right, going on to serious pressure. Well done, Coop, as in soup. Nice hit there. I'm still the Haas guys support, and that's what we like to see as well. Mushroom, of course, Mushroom was not a happy fan of was not a happy champion of the Haas, was he, over the years? But he's grown to love the Haas team, hasn't he? So really good stuff indeed. Right, here is Milan. Then we're on board now with Milan in the beautiful black Mercedes. And out of the final couple of turns as well. Let's see then. So Milan, of course, he's a very good qualifier, isn't he? Milan is. He's got he's a two-time race winner now. Milan is now. He won in Saudi Arabia, didn't he? Just not too long ago. Then as we come down into turn one, there's the AlphaTauri in the background. I think that was Keza, wasn't it? It was Keza in the AlphaTauri. There. Good to see Keza making a. So I think this is his first time in Gold. He's a full-time driver. I hazard a guess, and I believe it is anyway. Just now on board the Mercedes and tackling at this very impressive Spanish circuit. I love the changes to Spain. It's been absolutely brilliant stuff indeed there for Barcelona to go back to the old tradition, to the old style circuit. I definitely am a fan of this as well. And as you can see there, Milan go through the corner where lights unfortunately has had a couple of issues. Then talking to Mumford, then this is 66th Grand Prix start here tonight. There, sorry, no, it isn't. It's his 44th Grand Prix start tonight there for Mumford, and but he is looking very much on pace, isn't he? So good stuff there. Gone purple on the second split time. Milan has no times been set on the board just yet. Then out of turn 13, out of turn 14, DRS, two DRS zones there across the grid. Hatchins pole position there. No, listen, as fast as I should say. No pole yet. We got one more qualifying to go. 11-2 there for Milan, and 11-7 for Keza. I think one of the tricks of the trade around this circuit is going to be keeping those tires, keeping the tires very much in the operating window. We've got Troy going at second fastest again. We got Knowlesy going fourth fastest on the 12-2 at the moment there for the Alpine driver. What about the Haas car? See coming around the final turn, it's Liam Yeh out of the final corner. Liam Yeh 12-3, and these times are coming in thick and fast at the moment there. Brilliant stuff indeed there. Liam Yeh has a blue and pink helmet in tribute to Milan's news then. Of course, we did, and that's absolutely beautiful news to hear as well, isn't it? Cox Corner and all, Sarah Mushroom was saying that. Of course, yes, Cox Corner. Jonathan Cox's 50th Grand Prix start, and unfortunately, it was a humongous smash there, wasn't it? There, so I think Jonathan Cox went on to, I think he got up to like 95 starts in Gold. Then we haven't seen Cox for 2 seasons now, unfortunately, as he's the target. Yeah, Tango Milan Juice. We already spoke about Milan Juice, so he's going to be a and Liam Yeh, who is supporting good Fred with the beautiful pink helmet as well. So fantastic stuff, which must mean it might be a baby girl then. I think it's far too early to surmise stuff like that, isn't it? But I'm no I'm no midwife. Is that what they? I don't know, to be honest. So you see, I don't know anything about all that kind of malarkey. To be honest, I am just a simple ginger sitting on me poof at the moment now, just talking about these drivers tackling the Spanish Grand Prix circuit here in Barcelona. We've got Percy and we got Malta out there as well. Of course, Williams are leading the Constructors' Championship. Pretty appalling season last season for the Williams team. Finished 10th in the end, then a revolving door of drivers, and it just wasn't good at all. But Williams this season now have basically come back this season, are absolutely in. Oh, Percy's had an issue, I think, unfortunately. The car behind him there, so I think that this car, as Milan's retired from the session, he's going to be very happy with that. So is Troy as well. Lovely stuff there. Through Cox Corner for Immortal. But yeah, Williams, of course, absolutely disappointing stuff there. Williams, former Constructors' Champion as well, back in Season 2, which was led by, it was Season 3, wasn't it? Which was led by Garanti, wasn't it? Of course, the double world champion. I'm no midwife. I would never have guessed Gordon saying, haha. What are you saying, Gordon? Coming over the final turn. Malta going third fastest. Yes, let's just say, I think that, it's Percy there just, he had an issue, didn't he, earlier on that lap, and that's why he's crawling at the moment now. He just caught me off guard. As Green there really wrestling that Haas car. Really wrestling that Haas car. Oh, God. You can see I reckon the tires have overheated here, isn't it? I reckon the thermal deck is going to be a problem around here, where the core of the tire gets too hot and you just start spinning. Yellow flag there. I don't think it's something to be too concerned about. Green going at 9th fastest. Percy's carrying on his way then, so onboard stop. I love this over-the-shoulder cam on the McLaren. Well, on all the cars, to be honest. I do like this cam. It's fantastic, isn't there? Is Marky going, not Marky, Sloth going at 5th fastest there in the McLaren Mercedes. Good stuff. Indeed, then, of course. Here's Vesey out on circuit. Unfortunately, his teammate has had a couple of issues there, but Vesey scoring for the first time this season back in Imola, and we hope that, Ferrari and him hopes that that's going to be the start of things coming. There's a lot of understeer in that Williams there, personally, when we just rode on board with him ever so slightly. I'm starting to lose faith in Troye, in Troye Q1. How dare I? Yes, you can never lose faith in the world champion Troy, who's currently second fastest at the moment. But this is only qualifying 2. I'll remind you there. Of course, this is not about setting up the grid for the top 10. This is about setting up the grid. It's about setting up the grid for 11th down to 15th. Then as Percy is still on lap at the moment, and that's the only Ferrari left in this qualifying session, which is Percy. Might get a cheeky little slipstream now. Percy does not improve. Well, he improves his time, but not his position. Vesey improves his position. He is now 9th fastest. Then what about Marky? I've also got that box set up there as well. I had a mini roll a minute ago. Before I get one there, and I've got to say it's absolutely right. I haven't had a mini roll in a long time. I like the strawberry mini rolls, to be honest. I'm not a fan of the chocolate-scented mini rolls. Are they called mini rolls or Swiss rolls? I used to call them Swiss rolls when I was younger, but I think they're called mini rolls now, aren't they? Oh goodness me, my phone is telling me I need to work out. I've already got a workout coming in front of me, my dear phone. That is going to be the commentating for what's going to be an action-packed Spanish Grand Prix, of course. On board with Marky, and Marky's abandoned this run and coming to the pits there. Boxed out, of course, runner-up last season there with, as it was just coming down the straight there. 14 pole positions to this man today. Joined second in the all-time pole position. Stakes there, along with Milan, and who was the other person? I've forgotten now. Oh, Jonathan Cox, of course, yeah. So, yes, boxed out then, of course, would like to be second overall, because I think I said second overall in Imola, didn't I? And I went on a stat attack on Tuesday or Wednesday, because I thought that, because, I don't know why, to be honest, I'm just nerdy. Right, boxed out going third fast at the moment there. Percy, who's now just, I think he's going to go in the pits there, because time is starting to run out. Mumford gone to a very impressive 10th position there. He's looking very fine in this Red Bull, isn't he, Mumford is there? I'm loving to see that there from Mumford. Equals jumps up into 5th fast there. 5.5 minutes to go. No, 5 and 3/4 of a minute to go in this qualifying session there. Liam, has just gone up into 4th fastest. Keza in 6th at the moment there. Novelty has made his way up into 8th position there. And, of course, everyone else is in the pit lane at this moment in time. Yeah, I'd say either a lot of gradual traction zone rear sliding or overheating will be a big concern at the end of the stints there from Tango's technical tips there, or Ted Tango's technical tips there, all the T's here. We've got as wanted Milan, Troy, how much would you like together make me a sadist? Milan, yes, mushroom. Oh, and box as well. Personally, serious mushroom, for entertainment value, that would be absolutely fantastic, wouldn't it? I bet you that would get... of course, I'm all about the ratings, aren't I? Oh, Mumford, they're all about the sliding. I'm all about the ratings, then, so yes, bring it on, have all 4 of them. I don't think Farfar like it too much, then. Having said that, they are all professional racing drivers, aren't they? Or professional... do we say the word esports in here? Well, let's go for it. They are all professional Formula F1 2023 drivers. There's green is strung to warmer tyres by the looks of things, which I'm surprised by, to be honest, because me and Tanga more than me, to be honest. I'm going to steal Tanga's 900, makes it look smarter. But yes, I'm surprised that he's working those tires so hard, Green is. But let's see how that one transpires. Gordo, I like a good Swiss roll myself. I've always preferred the chocolate ones, though. By the way, I've made an official complaint to Cadbury now how those Oreo bites haven't got back to me yet, though. What's happened to the Oreo bites? I've not been a big fan of Oreo then, which I hope that doesn't upset you too much, Oreo. I love Whisper bites, so oh gosh, yes, unfortunately or fortunately for me, they're now on a higher row in the shop, which means I can't grab them. because I'm a bit of a short stuff kind of guy. To be honest, I'm about 5'4". I don't think I have no idea how tall or short I am. To be fair, that's not the kind of negativity I need in my life. That's probably why I always make my FIFA player like 7 foot something. We've also got Banks Fernando, Tao Troye. Daddy needs a new T-shirt. Then. That's of course, maybe Milan might need a new T-shirt as well. Well, I'm certainly going to need a new T-shirt after this one. There's Sam Green now coming diagonally down the back straight into turn 10 now. Of course, this is qualifying 2. If you just joined us, hello. I hope you're all having a good Sunday. I hope you've had a good weekend as well. I had a barbecue yesterday, which I must say quite enjoyed there. I was expecting the worst today. Then let's take a look at Sam Green first. So he goes 10 fastest out in the Haas car. Slough out on circuit. He started his lap now, 4,300 a second down. Then Percy also started his lap as well. He's got Sam Green in front of him. And I think Slough has abandoned his time then because he may have gone too deep into turn 4. So he's going to have to recover that. He's going to have to, well, he ain't going to recover that. He's going to have to like back off this one and go again. Percy seems to be, once again, I think that Percy's Achilles heel, dare I say, is qualifying. I think that am I speaking out of turn there, folks? I may be, well, I am actually, because he's had 8 pole positions in he's had 8 pole positions, hasn't he, in his 48 qualifying appearances, which is pretty impressive to say in about his own right, especially in gold, in the top tier of ALR, the top tier of Formula 1 racing on a Sunday, apart from the real world Formula 1 racing. That's what I think anyway. Of course, a lot of you will probably boo me off for saying that kind of stuff, but I love it. And mainly, this is my only online racing I actually watch, to be fair. Well, there you go. I live in my own little world. That's just me. It's a bit of a dirty looking Williams here. You might have to get the old sponge out in a bit, then, and a bit of fair liquid there to just scrub those wheel arches and all those eyebrows. There's Percy going for 5th fastest there. Good stuff indeed. That Kez is retired from the session. I see a yellow flag on track, but I think Kez was in the pits. Knowlesy 6 seconds off then in 8th position there. No, he's in 9th, but here's Knowlesy now. Who else is out there? That's a Mortal just about to start his time. What about the McLaren in front of us? I think that is Boxtal, which is he on a lap there? Boxtal is. No, he isn't. He's in the pits there, Boxtal is, so he's abandoned his time. We got a Red Bull out there as well, but the Red Bull is not on a lap, I don't believe. Knowlesy is on a lap. Oh, look at the dirty air he's got from, I think that's from Marky's car. That was a lot of oversteer there for Knowlesy. I think both the Alpines there, if they tripped over each other, then one of them could be costing in qualifying here. Marky out qualifying. Knowlesy is 10th at the moment, but look at that 8,800 a second there. He's caught up his teammate a bit too good, caught up his teammate at the wrong part of the circuit. And unfortunately, as Chaz are going 13th fastest there, he's out of qualifying. He might have time for one more run, but unfortunately, no, Slough in the pits as well. Slough in the pits at 41 seconds to go then. What about Mumford then? He's 3,900 a second down in the first split time. Vesley on a quick lap as well. He should get through before the end of this run. What about Immortal? He's a 10th second up. Immortal is there. It seems to be turn 12 where the car is oversteering there, and the back end is trying to overtake the front. Coming out to the final turn here for Immortal now. Up to the line then and going across the grid hatches there. Immortal going 3rd fastest there, and that should be safely through into qualifying 2. Percy crawling back into the pit lane. I think I'm going to retract my difficult qualifying statement there for Percy, because I think that might be slightly a bit off the mark though. I'm not sure if you guys agree with that. Vez is going 200 second up, and Mumford is not improved and is out of qualified, but good hustle nonetheless there from brilliant 17. Vez just appearing out of the shade there. Chaz has not set time yet, so it's between Knowles. Chaz has set time, he's done the 13. It's between Knowlesy and potentially Vesley. And I must say, if Knowlesy gets knocked out of qualifying here, I think that he may have to point the finger at his teammate there of Marquis, potentially of holding him up there, because he lost. I think he lost a bit of time in the final sector. We only seen the end of it then. Here's Vesley, 2/10 of a second up in the second split time. That is ballpark, but is it enough? And he's going to have a very solid, if not spectacular, final sector here. Look at how much he goes off the circuit now. That is what separates. That is what absolutely is incredible, isn't it? How much room they get there. And no, Vesley out of qualifying by just under a 10th of a second. Knowlesy is through. Both Alpines are through. And that was that was very close indeed there. But Vesley starts 11th in the Spanish Grand Prix. Knowlesy in 10th. We don't know where he starts just yet, but you'll see how that one transpires, of course. My goodness gracious me then. As Gordo's still on about them bites to get a less of the packet, laugh out loud. To be fair, it is this day and age as well. What else was that? Was it the Toblerone or something like that, which is now like, the pieces have got so small now, it's absolutely disgraceful behaviour, isn't it? They only give me 50 in the whole damn national packet there. It's scandalous. I always preferred Whisper Bites as well, but 15 in a blooming big packet. Am I buying a packet of Bites or Air? To be honest, it's 50% Bites, 50% Air, isn't it? Really, it feels like that in Walker's Crisps as well. On track action, it's 9400 in a second. Goodness me, I think we're going to become a food critic channel here, aren't we? I love it. Milan and Troy 9400 a second between the two Mercedes drivers. Out qualified Mumford. Good hustle on his return to gold though. Chaz in 14th. Might be disappointed with Chaz. Disappointed for Chaz. For Sam Green in 30th position. We seen him doing a lot of tire warm up, but unfortunately it didn't work out too well. Sloth in 12th position. He made a mistake, I think. And Vezi by the skin of his nose going in 11th position. Now in the top 15, 9/10 of a second. Golly gosh, and this is ridiculous as we go into qualifying 3. Welcome back for qualifying 3. I'm just wet my whistle. Now let's get going, shall we? Let's get going now. Anyway, before I do, I've got to catch up on these comments tonight. You're a chatty old bunch tonight. I absolutely love it. Of course, keeping me on my toes and all that kind of stuff. I certainly do need to be. I think there will I think this will be a clean race. Not too much chance of causing mayhem here. As Serious Mushroom said. Now Mushroom said that, it's going to be an absolute chaotic race there. I must say, in the past though, around here, we have had some action-packed races out, and some of the races I remember, Fig was talking of, we got a lot of John Cox content tonight, haven't we? But John Cox there was a lap away from winning the Spanish Grand Prix, or 2 laps away. Him and Fireshot Ryan, before Emerson took the win there, one of the best races I've ever commentated on. We've also had drama where Gurman went to the back of Emerson, didn't he, and spun Emerson around in that season 6 championship. Of course, which did potentially could have been quite crucial towards the end. Then maybe Milan there is very much cruising, and of course he is not changing out third gear here at the moment. There is he very much. I wonder if he's trying to burn fuel there, to be honest, because I wonder if he's overfueled the car slightly there potentially. Me trying to sound smart, that's probably not it at all, really, is it? Is it Father's Day soon? I think it's July, isn't it? Sometime there, but I'm sure Milan is looking forward to next year's Father's Day. If Troy sends me another T-shirt, then yes, we have also got Gurney. If you could type, then you can drive. And congratulations. My internet certainly can't there. Oh, Pillars. Good evening to you, Pillars, as well. There. So yeah, that's the problem. I think Gurney, Gurman, sorry, is going to have to. May have to relinquish his seat this season, 6th champion, if the internet issue. But I think technically he does have 3 races, doesn't he? I might have to check with Farf on that one, but he does have 3 weeks to see if he can get that sorted. Maybe, hopefully he can then. Serious mention, congratulations to Milan, 9 months time then, and he won't be racing due to lack of sleep then for Milan then. Goodness me. Well, unless we change ALR to potentially, like, I don't know, 11 o'clock at night or something like that, maybe. Good gosh, I certainly won't be commentating because I love my sleep then. Alpine smashing it again, Knowles is saying then. I gotta say that it was very close to Alpine, and maybe a bit of tears there between Markey and Knowlesy. Markey, the most unluckiest driver on the grid this season. Knowlesy making it through into the top 10 as well. It's great to see. This is unbelievably close. Expecting the top 4 to have 2 or 3 tenths more in their pocket though for Tiger. That is why we watch. This is why we watch racing, isn't it? Now it's just the admiration of the skill between these drivers is absolutely mind blowing, isn't it? And of course, I thought that all those drivers would have been those in the limit there in quali 1, in quali 1 and 2. Milan has made a mistake there. I think he took too much curb. As Percy's gone fastest there on a 13 now. How did Percy get past? I don't know. I thought I was on the board of the right car. But 13, I don't think it's going to cut the mustard. Milan is gone for 11-2, but I think, as Tango said, there's more in the pocket for the Mercedes driver. Here comes Troy, second fastest moment for Troy. They've done exactly the same time, more or less, to what they did in qualifying 2 here. A Moto going third fastest, so Mercedes 1-2, and a 3-4 for the Williams team. Not anymore. It's now Aquals that is going into 4th position there. And then we got Keza, who's moved into second fastest, and on the front row of the grid, they're making a splash for AlphaTauri, and they certainly need it, don't they, after a difficult start there. And Boxtel's on pole position, but 11-1 there for Boxtel. And remember, he wants to be the second all-time pole sitter tonight then. Knowsley 7th fastest then, as he's just come across the line. Markey on a lap then. Liam Yes starting on a quick lap as well. On board with Markey and the Alpine machine then into the final couple of corners as well. He's got a lot of energy left, hasn't he? Out of the fall turn there for Markey. Over the grid hatch as well. DRS right on the money there. Markey going 5th fastest in the Alpine. And Liam, is the final driver yet to set a time just yet. Boxtel pole position then. Could be for the 15th time of his career. Alongside him is Milan, also going for 15-time career pole position today. Kez had never been on pole position as far as I'm concerned in ALR Gold. I think he's a 2-time pole sitter in silver at the very least, and I'm sure he's more than that as well. Troy in 4th position now. The world champion now is on the 2nd row. Markey on the 3rd row with a Moto in 6th position. I'm expecting Williams to be higher. Equals in 7th position, Nosey 8th, 9th is Percy, a miserable first run there from Percy there. 10th position is Liam Yen, and out of the final turn there for Liam Yen, coming over the grid as well. The timeline is upon you. It is 5th fastest there for Liam Yen. Great stuff indeed there. Wow. Well, one incredible opening stage to this one. This track is only a 70 lap long. It's only a 17-second lap. Then I'm wondering if the drivers may go for 3 runs here. If they've got the soft tires, of course, they've got to slow down to 80 kilometers an hour. Boxtel is on pole position, and he is really started to become a thorn in the side. I I wouldn't say he was missing as such, but he was a bit behind the 8 ball in the opening stage of the opening stage of the championship. But my word, he is back on it now, isn't he? And that is only good for us, isn't it? For us at home. Probably not so good for the drivers at the front of the field, though, is it? I don't think they'll get into the 10 series. Mushroom is saying that they're currently on an 11-1 at the moment. They're very close there, but that is going to be, I think you're right, Mushroom, it'll be an absolutely outstanding lap if they can. Was expecting Keza to be higher, to be honest there, Mushroom is saying. Come on, Keza, it's Lord Pillar said. Shalom, Mushroom, my dear boy, and bless, that's better, Keza. Moving Ninja, hi Sean, I hope you're well today, and I hope things are going well today. They certainly are moving. I hope you're well today, and I hope you've had a good weekend as well. I was going to say, actually, yes, they are going for 3 runs here because Equals is out. Percy's out for another run. I'm not surprised too much by Percy because he's languishing down in 10th position at the moment there. No way they're hitting the 10s yet. I don't think it's... I'm not confident saying no way, but I must say that I reckon that... do you reckon that there's a absolutely outstanding exponential lap there, which that word's completely wrong there. Yo, lasers, I think that it'll be a 10-9 will be a pole position there. Oh, goodness me. So they got to find a 2/10 of a second of Boxtel's just there or thereabouts, which is pretty phenomenal indeed. Then on board with Person now, a 8-time pole sitter in his career. Across the grid hatch as well, and the man who finished 3rd in the World Championship last season there. As he is coming down the long back straight there. Someone is showing the size of their exhaust in my, outside my garden. Out of turn 3 as well then for Person. Of course, it's very much a full throttle for Person now. And first intermediate time is coming up now. It's a 21.4, 4/10 of a second up on his previous best time from Q3. Not for any other qualifying session there. This is here and now. Then this is a new session technically. Person then out of turn 5 he comes in. Will be a great lap for they do that. Milan will be in the 10s. He's a filthy sweaty driver then. Very good stuff indeed. Movement then was very well, especially Liverpool being back on now then. Of course, I absolutely love the fact that Liverpool won yesterday. It was really good stuff indeed. Unfortunately, not the same we said for Chelsea, unfortunately. We've also got later today, yep, definitely, there's a lot of fast guys in here, later saying that. And slow ones like me, Sir Swisher was saying that. Out of the final turn now, the second to last turn, out of the final turn now for Percy. I hope you enjoyed that onboard footage, because I loved it. Across the line then, and Percy's on pole position there, 400 to a second, impressive massive stuff indeed. Here's Milan, and now Milan's on pole position. It's 11-1 then. They are tickling the 10s and are not quite there yet. But my goodness me, pole position has changed them umpteen times already in this qualifying session. Milan now needs to get his skates on. Troy 22 into a second down in the second split time. Equal said, what has Equal's got in his pocket? He's got 2/10 a second at the moment, almost 2 3/4 tenths, and goes 6 fastest there on the same row as Troy. Troy 6500 second down, and he's hit the limit of the Mercedes there. Has he got anything more? Has he saved anything in the final sector here? Flying into 13, he is on 14 as well. I don't think it's going to be enough for pole position here, but it might be enough to move back onto row 2. No, my gosh, and I have been absolutely dumbfounded. Troy is on pole position here. It's a Mercedes 1-2 again with Percy in third, Boxtel in fourth position. This is a ridiculous qualifying session there. 11-1-1-8, 11-1-2-8, 11-1-4-9. What an incredible qualifying session. Let's not discount Boxtel either. 11-1-8-9. My goodness gracious me. Absolutely fantastic. Shows how much I know about my racing as well, doesn't it? Absolutely incredible lap there from Troy. What an absolute magnificent stuff indeed then. Oh my golly gosh. Oh, my word. Absolutely, well, I think that, well, that's certainly, that's going to live longer than memory for me. How on earth did he do that? He must have, on his previous laps, do you reckon he, do you reckon he left a bit on the table on his previous laps in the final sector? And then on that lap, then maybe he left a bit more on the table the first and second sector, so he still had the tyres in there for the third sector potentially there. And that was absolutely brilliant indeed, wasn't it? Just on board now once again with Immortal as we are now in the second split time as well. So Boxtel out on a final run. Then Immortal I think is going to abandon this lap. He is with just under 120 seconds to go in this one. Outlap for Boxtel, for Keza, and for Markey. Then what is Markey do? What can Markey do? Can he get himself? Troy's retired from the session. Goodness me. So Troy then is not going to do another time here. I must say, I feel that I'm not sure if that is going to be enough for pole position. It's all about track evolution around there as well. Let me quickly get to the comments then. Yes, lap isn't the greatest track, so I find it so boring. Laugh out loud. I kind of switch off after through the race because the track is boring. How close is this? It is not boring. I said the track is boring. Laugh out loud. Sure, just pulled everyone's pants down. He certainly pulled mine down. Goodness gracious me, but I feel blessed. Fantastic stuff for Troy. Really good stuff indeed. That Markey just now building up the hill down street. Now flick it into turn 9, Cox corner, then DRS out for Markey. Now goodness gracious me, he didn't even have to hear the beep in his ear. Then there's Knowles in the background. He's not on a lap just yet. Knowles he isn't. Now out of the new reprofiled turn 10 then, which was reprofiled actually last year, not this year. Nevertheless then, however, this part of the circuit then of course is absolutely incredible now. Hopefully moving now with the final two corners there, and that was a downshift from Markey, goodness me. Out of the final turn then, and Markey going 7 fastest, hopefully moving like this track a bit more now with the new, well not the new fast end to the, well it's not really new fast end to the lap there. Kez did improve there, he is still 5th fastest, but he's in the ballpark now. Boxtel is crawling as well, so Boxtel has abandoned his time. He has now got one more shot, as JLS would say then. Let's see what he has in the piggy bank then. Where is Immortal? I hear you ask then. There he is at 700 a second up. Immortal is at. Goodness me, look how close his times are. I was going to say 700s. He's not going to be in the ballpark, is he? But he might be in the ballpark, you know. Let's see what this does now then. So Troy is retired from qualifying then. It is Milan, Percy, Boxtel, Keza, Equals, Markey, Liam, yeah, Immortal. Checker flag is full, and now Nosey in there as well. Out to the final corner. And Immortal second fastest. Incredible stuff, man. Just like Troy, he's found an abundant amount of time in the final sector. And he is on rows. He's on the front row of the grid for the Spanish Grand Prix. Fantastic, absolutely incredible. Knowles is on the wrong part of the circuit there, unfortunately. Markey has, it's not improving then, so he is done for the day, Markey is. What about Lucas Percy? There's a crawling Aston Martin we just seen just momentarily. And so I think Equals out of this battle for pole position as well. Out of the final turn then for Percy, then coming to the line. It's anyone's ball game. Percy's on pole position there. 11.099. He is on pole position then for the Spanish Grand Prix. Liam Ye coming up to the line then. Was Liam Ye? He's up in 2 into row 4 of this qualifying session. Kez has abandoned his time, unfortunately. Milan's abandoned his time as well. What about Boxdown? And Percy's on pole position. Boxdown's off the circuit, and this is incredible stuff indeed. I think Boxdown's called it a day, down in 5th. My goodness gracious me. Equals is also finished as well. A very anticlimactic end there, but what an incredible qualifying session. Percy has really put me in the shade. He is on pole position then for the Spanish Grand Prix, and there's me saying that his Achilles heel was his qualifying? Absolutely not. His 9th pole position of his career here in ALR, and this is and that is an absolutely one of his finest pole positions. Surely that is his 2nd pole position of the season as well. There for Percy, absolutely splendid stuff indeed there for the Williams driver. That's absolutely splendid stuff indeed there for Percy. It's actually, I think, his 3rd pole position of the season, is it? If I'm not very much mistaken. Really good stuff indeed there for Percy. My golly gosh there, what an incredible qualifying session that was. And you can see that just on front of our screens now, Percy pole position by 1800 a second there from Troy in 2nd position then. And I thought that Troy was going to drop down a bit further than that. 2700 a second between Immortal and Percy. 2800 a second between Percy and Milan. 9100 a second there between Percy and Boxster. The top 5 are separated by less than a 10th of a second. Just over a 10th of a second is Keza with Liam 7th, 8th Equals, Mark in 9th, and Nosey brings up the top 10 then here in Spain. That is an incredible qualifying session. I cannot wait for the race, which is coming up next then. Well, that was absolutely mega stuff indeed then. Basically, 4 drivers at the same time in the end. Laser is saying that, goodness gracious me, especially when you're at the back of the field with the news then. I was on Saturday and end up in the carnage the other way around then. That was a Verstappen last sector from the Swede of Troy, and with Immortal as well, and that was brilliant stuff indeed. Mega stuff, Ben, as move in there. I'm hoping he's be racing on Tuesday nights. We hope you see you there as well. Geez, Percy, that was close and short track. That's why the margins are so fine. Serious Mushroom is saying now, magnificent stuff indeed. Then Equals are so fast. Then Alpine smashing it at 9th and 10th Nosey, so very happy with that then. Gonna be hard to break DRS here then. Later saying we might have a DRS train then. Ted Tango's technical tips said incredibly close, although I think the top fill will be what word is that, Tango? Goodness gracious me. Then that's a word that I don't even know what it means there. But that's why Tango is technical and I'm not. I have no idea what that word is. Hang on a minute. Known, is it? Is it known? I don't know. Apart from Percy, obviously, that wasn't a 10 in that session there. Annoyed, sorry. Incredibly close, although the top 4 would be annoyed. Apart from Percy, obviously, that wasn't a 10 in that session. I got there in the end. I need to just put my spec savers on. 19 cars on the circuit for the Spanish Grand. Well, we are go! And it is go here in Spain as we go down into turn 1. And Percy's going to take the lead. No, Troy's going to take the lead then. But Percy hangs out dry down here. And Percy still leads. And 2nd position is Troy and Milan in 3rd. And Malta in 4th position. Kenneth dropped down to 5th. Box has had a difficult start as well in this one. And I was expecting a formation lap there to Percy lead. So somehow still, oh my goodness me, and he's on the hard tires, and Troy is 2nd. Milan has jumped to Malta then, and who is that then? That's one of the Alpines off in the background. That is Marquis down into 19th position once again, having first lap drama set. Marquis got a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Nigel as well. Marquis, goodness me, if he had any luck, it would be bad luck at the moment there, isn't it, for Marquis? He's just very, very difficult to get any kind of luck there. Toy Coin up for all positions there. Good start there for the Red Bull Reserve here tonight. Great stuff indeed then, as we're coming to complete the opening lap then, but I think some drivers are not going to be too impressed about the lack of formation lap. We didn't have a formation lap on a couple of weeks ago before the patch because it was causing drivers to be disqualified. However, I think ever since then that we was expecting the formation lap to be on, but yes, difficult stuff indeed. Then Percy set the fast on the race, and so some drivers may be a bit furious at that then, as they come out to complete lap one then. Percy leads Troy in second position. Third position is Milan with Malta in fourth. Equals in fifth position. The tyre strategy is this: too good to miss. Percy on hard tyres. We have also got into the pits comes Markey. Look at this, and when the Ferraris then is fighting with Nigel in 16th and 17th position. Hard tyres for Liam, yeah, for hard tyres and for Vesey and for Cooper as well. Both Ferraris going for a longer first stint then. Toy Coin is using the soft tyres to his advantage. It's actually flown up to 12th position in the Red Bull. Great use of those soft tyres as well. Chaz has made his way up for 10th position. Good lad. Box out all over the back now of Equals then at this moment in time then. So just watching then, serious Russia annoyed Sean. My terrible spelling, don't worry, Sean Tango said. It's more me, Tango. I should have I should have deciphered that one a bit quicker, but of course, having an IQ of 69, which is probably probably doesn't help either, does it? Vesey and Mumford are having an almighty scrap here. Mumford up into 15th position, down into 16th. It goes Vesey on those hard tyres now, going on the outside then. Oh, it's Vesey. Oh, and Nigel almost off the circuit there, and now Coop on the outside. Vesey and Nigel, the two Dutchmen there, and coming to blows then. And unfortunately, hopefully, well, it looks like that Vesey's got a lot of oversteer there. Percy still leads there with Troy in second, with Milan in third, and Malta in fourth. Equals is in fifth at the moment now. Boxall is sixth, Kez is seventh, Liam, yeah, the highest runner on the hard tyres at an eighth. Knowles in ninth position, 10th position is Chaz. 33 laps around the Spanish circuit then. So this is all about tyre wear, car setup, and keeping your cool, isn't it? There's only one there's only one clear overtaken opportunity, which is the DRS down into turn 1. Otherwise, there is a opportunity-ish into turn 10, but I think turn 1 is probably everyone's safe bet, I would hazard a guess. Do not go wide out of turn 8, the fast turn there, because you will, of course, there be beats on that and probably go into the bar there, won't you? So Farf has apologised. I've managed to screw something up then. I messed up. Apologies, Farf, saying don't worry about that, my good sir. He more caught me out than the drivers. I don't think the drivers probably knew too much about it because I think they all got away decently enough far from Markey, unfortunately. Lap 4 of this race, and Percy still leads the way then. As we heard then from Tango's technical tips and from Laser, that of course that this is going to be a DRS train. And look at this, this is the first opportunity then going down into turn 1 between Troy and Percy. It's going to be a DRS train, this one is now. Just keeping an eye out for the other sector times as well then. And Coop and Nigel have also swapped positions down in the latter stages of the field as well then. And now Troy, who at the moment then is all over the back of Percy. Percy is not going to get an ounce of breathing room here in this one, is he? This is going to be a great fight then as well. Gurman, I miss racing. Hopefully Gurman can get the interweb sorted out then, and he'll be back in action. And hopefully that, of course, I think the rules is if you miss 3 races then you're out, kind of thing. So Gurman's got about 3 weeks then, hopefully, before the champion of season 6, and hopefully he doesn't lose a seat, because I don't want him to lose a seat as they're coming down into turn 10 now. Then of course that's not my decision. I'm not the admin. Goodness gracious me, I'm far from it. Good luck, Kaz, and good luck driving as well. Moving, come on, Equals. Podium's on its way easily. Equals currently in 5th position at the moment. Isn't it? Good stuff there indeed for Equals. Boxall down in 6th position there. Boxall very much on form, wasn't he, in qualifying, but unfortunately found himself down in 6th position still. Well, I say on form now. It was so close between the top 5 there. Any of them could have been on pole position. It was incredible to see. It was very much about who had the best lap. So it is advantage Percy at this moment in time, because Percy is on the harder compound tyres there, and he is doing a very good job here of keeping Troy behind him. Then the world champion Troy is as well, of course. However, we got to keep an eye on though is the the undercut here, because the undercut here is going to be quite powerful, especially with tyre. Whereas Nigel and Cooper are an almighty scraps. Oh goodness me! And on the outside goes Nigel. I think was that contact. The car is a bit unstable here for Nigel, and Cooper's now got the outside, but Nigel's the inside into turn 6 there. Cooper, is he going for a look? He's having a look now. No, Nigel keeps his position there. It's an almighty scrap there, as of course Cooper on the hard tyres, Nigel on the medium compound at the moment, Vesey on the hard as well. Boxall's got past Equals down into the place where I thought was not going to see much of overtaking. How wrong was I? I think that's like the 5th or 6th time I've been wrong in this stream, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. Boxstyle now up into 5th position then, so he is about 6 tenths of a second away from Immortal, but luckily or skillfully or whatever the case, he is still in DRS race at the moment. Nigel and Cooper swap positions once again then. Here is Troy, and Percy trying to squeeze Troy, but Troy is through, and here comes Milan as well. There's free impressions, turn 1, contacting Percy's off the circuit, and once again there has been contact, and that is not good at all, and one of the Mercedes that got damaged there, but Percy is going to be livid, I think, there. But here it is. I'm just rewatching just rewatched it on stream as well. Milan there went up the inside, and oh goodness me, and I'm not going. We'll see how that one transpires. But now Percy, it's having to defend there from the Alpha Tauri of Lights, and is now moving for 12th position. Great drive from great drive there, and great drive there from the Alpha Tower of Lights at the moment there in 12th position there. But there is Troy who leads the way with Milan in 2nd position. Let's see how Percy recovers from that then. Oh dear, oh dear. We have got Lace saying DRS is too strong on this game in my opinion. It is just one massive train at the moment. Yellow flag then for one of the Aston Martins. Nigel's had issues at the back of the field as well. As Milan is dropped back off for Troy here. As of course we had a bit of a sandwich there. 3 going into 1 does not apply there, does it? Just on board now, and look at them all swarming all over them. But Troy there, and look at this, here comes the second Williams, and we're going to have a replay. Not quite as we go down into turn 1 there. Percy and Lightset is also fighting as well down the back straight there. Percy in 13th position, he's going to be feeling a bit of grief, and Nigel in the pits as well. The 2 Mercedes all over the back of each other. Boxhouse just sitting there in 4th position at the moment here. Oh dear then. Nigel's light is flashing already. He can't be below 10 already, surely. Nigel can't then. We'll take a look at that in a bit now, but Nigel's in the pits at the moment, and Marky and Nigel are going to be hoping for some kind of safety car to bring him back in this one, but it is looking a very lonely race for those 2 drivers at the moment there, unfortunately, both having issues on the opening 7-8 laps in this race. Same with Perch as well, down into turn 1 once again. We have had incidents there with the top drivers. Goodness gracious me. Of course, there's already a big talking point in the paddock, wasn't there, before this race there, and unfortunately it has happened again, hasn't it? Troy leads the way, 2nd is Milan, Immortal in 3rd position, Boxstyle all over the back of Immortal in 4th. Equals is in 5th position, about half a second away. Look at this, and just like Laser said, there's a very long DRS train all the way down to Lightset. Now here comes Milan then, and he is through and takes the lead in the Spanish Grand Prix. Immortal too far back at the moment there, so Milan then is now leading this one, and Percy has made his way back up into 12th position now in the Williams car. There he goes then, there he goes for Percy. Lights down in 13th position then, but hopefully Lights can get a bit further up on his debut, of course. So it's still a Mercedes 1-2 at the moment there. Mercedes could have had a 1-2 last time out in Imola as well, but of course we did have a couple of penalties dished out towards the end of the race, didn't we? Otherwise that would have been only the 5th time in ALR Gold history we've had a 1-2 for a team then. Right, Tango, Milan knows Milan puts knows where it shouldn't be in that situation. Holding back for Troy, getting Percy out of shape would have been better. Tango has very much put his hat squarely, put the blame squarely at the feet of Milan on that one there. Of course, keep your comments coming in, ladies and gents. That kind of, yeah, I was wondering the same, to be fair. Maybe Milan should have backed off a bit there potentially, because free into 1 doesn't go well around into turn 1 there. However, of course, I'm 9 times out of 10 I'm usually wrong on instances like that, but we'll soon find out how that one transpires. Here comes Tango, and Tango not going for the overall lead there then. Interesting stuff, but of course, as we mentioned, this is going to be a very strategical race then. Percy is about half a second, about half a second away, is going for it's up to 14th, and a half a second away from DRS of Toy Corden in 11th position. And then after that, it's DRS all the way up to the lead of this race then. Anything can happen in this Grand Prix still then, but we're coming to a 3rd race distance now. But if Percy, hopefully Percy can keep his emotions in check then, maybe he might be able to get some points from here, but I think that he is going to be very livid inside that Williams car, unfortunately. Immortal now in 3rd position. Well, that Troy is dropping off the back of Milan ever so slightly at this stage of proceedings then. As you've got a bit of cloud cover over here in Barcelona at the moment, as I wonder if that's going to affect the tyre temperature ever so slightly. Might hurt the hards more than the medium runners at that moment, which Percy is the highest running hard tyre. No, it isn't. Sorry, it's Liam. Yeah, it's the highest running hard tyre. Looking very happy in seventh position there. Percy, I think, will be leading this race. Sorry, Liam, yeah, will be leading this race somewhere in the future. Out of the final turn, that Cat Boxed Out, who's looking very menacing now. Olo is now looking very menacing, but look at that. Once again, the DRS effect, they're really helping now and just pulling away. Into the pits comes Toy Coin then on the soft tyres. Of course, we expected him in earlier on then. I wonder if he's now going to try and go to hard tyres to the end of the race. He should be able to get to the end of the race on those hard tyres, because I think that the medium runners are going to try and get to probably like lap 14, something like that, between now and lap 14, and then stick on the hard tyres there. Toy Coin has done exactly that then, so he's going to go for a very powerful undercut here. Boxed Out, just like last lap, then very close to the back of a Mortal there, but unfortunately it's very difficult to overtake there into turn 5 before accelerating out then. Troy, not Tango short. Goodness, I can only wish I was as fast as him, Tango said. I don't know really. For once, I was full of energy tonight on Sunday. Looking forward to this race there. But I've been all over the show, haven't I, tonight? Shocking me, but then again, what do you expect then? Of course, those of you that have been watching us for about, what, 4 or 5 years now? You know that I'll never get anything right. But however, what is right at the moment is Milan leads with Troy in second and a Mortal in third position, but it's Boxed Out who seems to be causing the waves out there at the moment there. Percy is still out of DRS range of Sloth at the moment, but he is trying to push on and get back in that DRS range. Here comes Boxed Out, and look at that, he is going to be very close to Troy as well. Not too close though, takes third position there. Boxed Out as he seems to be the quicker of these gaggle of drivers at the moment. So Toy Coin then, interested to see that he's got a 9-second deficit between himself and Fezzi now, so Toy Coin could now start to really put the pedal to the metal then flat out. To be fair, Milan could have backed out of that cause, because that happened to me the other day then, and I didn't get the guy overtaking me, and of course hit my car and spun himself, laugh out loud then. If you're on the racing line, then you got more right in the corner, I find then as well. So there's your input there for the old incident. So the old incident there. Query going on at the moment, and Percy is in 11th position at the moment on the harder tyres. Yeah, I think I do. Oh gosh, there it's racing though, isn't it? There, of course, you can't. Of course, as the famous line says, if you no longer go for a gap, you're no longer a racing driver, as Ayrton Senna once said. Yes, so of course we don't want to deteriorate, we don't want to deter from the racing, do we? On board now, Boxed Out is absolutely flying out there at the moment, and he's now starting to hunt down the two Mercedes head of Milan and Troy. I wonder if Troy is probably doing some harvesting this stage of proceedings then, and just using Milan there as a bit of a solution then, with Boxed Out in third, a Mortal in fourth position at this moment in time. Percy's almost in DRS range of this top 10 here, which all of them are in the DRS at the moment there. Toy Coin has found 2 seconds on that lap alone then to the driver in front of him, which is of course Coop. So Toy Coin absolutely flying out there at the moment, but so is Boxed Out. Lap 12 out of 33 here in this one there. Lap 12 out of 33 here in this tournament, and no retirement so far. Then unfortunately, Marky and Nigel a bit out of sorts due to the open lap issues there. The both drivers have them. They both need some kind of safety car to get themselves back in this one. At the moment, there doesn't seem to be anything like that then, because it's been. Apart from a couple of scrapes here and there, it has been okay so far. And of course, the major talking point there probably might be the issue that Marky's had, maybe Nigel, and of course the issue that we did see between Percy, Milan, and Troy. Now here comes Boxed Out. He is DRS is enabled then, but look at that then. He has not got the advantage at this stage of proceedings then, but Boxed Out will be not too disgruntled by that at this moment. Action is a bit of a lull at the moment here, as we are now waiting for the pit stop set, and how is this one going to transpire then? As we've just heard in the comments tonight then about the DRS train, and that is exactly what it is at the moment. It is a DRS train. So when is this going to fire off? When is it? This is kind of the calm before the storm, isn't it? This one is. We'll see how this one is. We'll see how this one transpires then. And back on board, Boxed Out once again. And I do love these on-board shots, and it's incredible to see the driver, isn't it? really going to work. Really expert at that craft, and it is magnificent to see that. Just the control. The braking points are absolute to the millimeter each and every lap for the first 13 laps. It's absolutely magnificent. The racecraft, the skillcraft, it's everything aboard that, and it's all about strategical elements as well. Now you do not have an in-game race engineer, do you? Well, suppose you could say you have Mark, but sometimes I don't think Mark is very helpful here. And look at this, and it's going to go wheel to wheel down into turn one between Boxall and then Troy. Then Boxall tries to go on the outside, but he can't do that then. Troy still keeps second position, and we're very enthralled in this battle at the moment, and magnificent stuff indeed. And we've now the top three are gapping the rest of the field, and pace is starting to hot up in the top three, with Immortal now 8/10 of a second away. Percy's in the DRS range now, and he is going to be very, very unhappy about the proceedings of this race so far. Lap 14 out of 33 then, as we are now approaching the pit stop window. And who is going to blink first? Who is going to come to the pits then? Can the hard tires go to the soft tires? Can the hard tires go to the soft tires at the end of the race then? Who knows? But, well, yeah, I think you guys probably know, to be fair, but I certainly don't know, which makes it more exciting for me. That's the advantage about being a bit, about being a bit thick about what you're watching, is that it makes it a bit more exciting, doesn't it, when I have no idea what is going on there. Of course, all you guys in the comments knows exactly what's going on. Troy's the first to blink, and the world champion is in the pit lane now. Yeah. No, Troy is out of the Grand Prix. He's in the wall, and Troy is out of the race then. And what has happened there? He's parked on the final corner here, and Troy, I think, has come into the pit lane, hit the bump, and gone into the wall. And his chances of winning the Spanish Grand Prix have come to nothing. The champion is out of the Spanish Grand Prix. Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh gosh, and now and there's no safety car at this stage. And Nosy and Sloth have pitted. Toy Coin is now up in the 40 finish. I just seen Laser mention that Toy Coin's going to struggle to get to the end there. But Troy is out of the Grand Prix. That's his second retirement of the season here. Troy doesn't get many retirements, but that is a major retirement there for Troy, the championship leader. He's only got a 10-point gap between himself and Immortal in the championship. As it stands, the championship will change hands. Immortal will lead the world championship. Oh my goodness gracious me. He is out of the Spanish Grand Prix, and that is going to cause all kinds of shockwaves through this system. Then Milan still leads this way. Milan is in the pits now, so Milan is in. He's got to be calm then coming into the pit lane, because that pit lane bump there has already caught out to one of the best in the terms of Troy, the champion. Oh my goodness gracious me. Mercedes mechanics are probably still reeling about what's happened there to Troy, but they've gone to work on Milan's car before coming out of the pit lane. Yellow flag in the background as well. What's happened in the background? I don't know, to be honest. It's one of the Ferraris. It's Vesely crawling by the looks of things. Something's gone wrong for Vesely as well. So the highest runner who's going to pitch is Milan at the moment there. He is out just a second behind Coop at the moment. And Markey is down 7th position. Mumford there is just coming to the pits as well in 16th position there. I'm an absolute shock then about Troy being out the race. This is how rare it is for Troy to retire from a Grand Prix. In 73 Grand Prix starts, including this one tonight. This is only his 8th retirement there for Troy. He is out of the Grand Prix, and oh my absolute gosh, Troy out of this race. That is a major headline in this one. Boxall leads, and he's out of DRS now for Immortal in second. Liam and Person now third and fourth, with the pit stops now. Very much well underway then. Sam Green, Shazza, Immortal, and Boxall not pitted yet. Boxall's in the pits now for the McLaren team. And looking for those Papaya McLarens, mechanics overalls air. Now getting ready to go. We're then going on that soft tyres for Boxall. Goodness gracious me, it's a strategical error for the McLaren driver. And goodness gracious me, there's all kinds of facts here. So I'm surprised about the soft tyres. I'm not going to get to the end there. And I think the hard tyres will. Is there a bigger tyre wear issue than what we're making out here? I'm surprised by that then, because I thought that the hard tyres need to get to the end, but the medium tyres have got half distance already. But Boxall is out on the soft compound tyres then. my goodness gracious me. What an absolutely incredible race has been now. Immortal leads with Liam in second position. On board with Chaz, who's all over the back of Percy about there. Lights has made his way up in the fifth position now. Good stuff indeed there. The highest runner to have stopped then is Milan then. Boxall's got past Kupu, is now on the soft tyres there. As I'll keep an eye on your comments in just a minute, ladies and gents. I do not want to take my eye too much off of this action there, because as soon as I look down, I'll bet you something else could happen here. But it's now very much all action and all go then. Percy's not too quick at this stage of the season. Chazza on the medium tires is very much keeping him well in sight at the moment. Now Liam, 4 seconds up the road, and then we've got Lights who's right behind us as well in the AlphaTauri then. So Lights have been finished well. I'm loving this, and the fact that there's got another yellow flag there. It's one of the Aston Martins there. As Milan set the fast on the race. Nigel off the circuit, and Nigel having a nightmare season, unfortunately, for the silver champion, and it's just not gone his way at all. Sloth and Equals are fighting for position then, and Sloth is now through and up into 11th position now. Is now in a 10th position, and Equals jumped down to 11th. There's Kez in the background, also on new hard tires at this moment in time. Kez has dropped down a few positions, hasn't he? Goodness gracious me, what's happening there? Toy Coy now up into 9th, and he'll be very happy with his early stop then going on to these soft tires then. At this stage of proceedings, lap 18 and Boxtel, soft tires then. He's now all over the back of Milan here. I'm very intrigued about how this strategy goes then, because I was surmising that the McLaren team may have made a mistake then of putting on the soft tires. But potentially, this could be Troy's game here. Maybe the hard tires are not a very good race tire. We have been comparing Percy, who for the beginning of the stint was very good indeed then. He is struggling to a certain degree now then. He is struggling to gap Chaz at the moment, but he is gaining on the drivers in front of him. Chaz and Lights are both coming to the pits on this lap then. Lap 19 out of 33 at the moment there, and goodness gracious me, I'm going to have to sit down because I am absolutely... Oh, we've got another yellow flag. It's one of the Ferraris. It's Vesely off the circuit. That's a whole lot of damage there. And goodness me, is there going to be a VSC for that? And the Ferrari wing is up against the concrete wall, so that should be easy to get rid of. It is easy to get rid of. And now then his Duper's just gone through and I'm in the 15th position now. So letting his teammate through. Lights out the pits, Chaz out the pits, and also... I thought there was another driver. Oh, Nigel out of the pits as well on the soft tyres there. So soft tyres for Chaz as well. Interesting strategy here. And we've got Nigel on the softs as well, down in 18th position. The only retirement so far... the only retirement so far is Troy at this moment in time. Then, of course, having issues that come in the pits. So we haven't heard from Troy yet. We're not sure what the issue was for Troy. Whether it was the bump coming into the pit lane or whether something else happened with the car, it remains to be seen at this moment. Equals is looking very comfortable on these medium tires, but he is against the driver of Toy Corner, who's done 9 laps on these tires. Immortal, one of the final drivers to pit on the medium tires. He is now in the pits now. Green is the Haas driver, which has stayed out, I believe. Yes, he has, and so Simon Green has stayed out then as got to... Boy, I probably could go in the pits anyway because the Boxall trying to overtake him. Boxall's also overtaken Milan as well. There's so much action going on. A lot of marbles off the racing line, isn't there? So this could be very interesting. Here comes Milan. Milan then on the grass there. Boxall tried to defend then, but he's now up into third position now. Sam Green now unfortunately getting hung out to dry in Boxall down into fourth. Milan getting past Boxall and Green on that lap and made his way up into third position. Milan has, but Boxall's coming back at him then, and I thought he was going to have a replay of the Mercedes of his Vesely got 3 second penalty. The only penalty so far, good stuff. Unfortunately not from Vesely's point of view though, as he is the first driver to get a penalty. I thought he was going to have a replay of the Mercedes issue from back in 2016. However, the only difference is that we've got a McLaren and a Mercedes rather than a Mercedes and Mercedes, albeit that they do have the power units of a Mercedes powering that papaya McLaren there. Boxall in fourth position there. As I just now on board now with Boxall, who once again is all over the back of Milan here. Lights has got a 3 second penalty. Unfortunately, it's the commentator's curse, isn't it? Is very much the commentator's curse. And look at Boxall. He's really putting pressure on Milan now as the pit lane drama into the pits comes to 2 race leaders, and Sloppy's got past Green, but Green's in the pits as well as Boxall takes the lead with 12 laps to go in this one. Remember, it is about tyres in this, so this is not over till it's over. Chazza has set the fast on the race. Slopp is up into a fantastic third then. This is an incredible race so far. Nosey up into 7th then, and now Immortals on soft along with Chazza as well. Liam is on medium tyres then. The strategy is all over the show here, and this is fantastic to see. I absolutely love it. Oh my goodness gracious me, then this is incredible. So, oh, Toy Coin has made a mistake there. He's off the circuit and he almost runs Nosey off the road there. Nosey's going to go on the outside nonetheless. Nosey's going to have he's going to have the traction there coming out to 6th. Oh my gosh, they're going to go side by side through 5th corner. Oh, and Nosey flicking the bird there. Toy Coin is up and is down into 7th there. Great racing from both drivers, goodness gracious me. Very strong arm tactics from Toy Coin, but of course he does don't want to lose position there. He's on load of tires. He's trying to get to the end of the race there. So he is fighting for every position he can get. And of course, I very much... come on, man, indeed. So Boxtel is trying to step... No, he's got a 3-second penalty. Boxtel is trying to get out of DRS race. And Milan is 3 seconds up the road from Sloth, who's got himself up in the third there. Fantastic. With Ekbal's up in the fourth there. Great stuff indeed. Keza 5th. Nolsey in 6th position now. With Toy Coin 7th. Here comes Immortal in 8th position. And here comes Immortal now. And let's see where he can go then. So Percy's now in 12th position on the medium compound tyres. On the outside then. Toy Coin trying to go. Oh, that's banging wheels there. But Immortal now up into 7th position. Passes the... passes Toy Coin, and away he goes then. So Immortal up in 8th position, Chaza in 9th, Lights in 10th position, Percy's is now up to 11th position as well, with 12th position, yellow flag. It's the Ferrari, it's Vesey having the same issue at the similar corner as well. Vesey, the highs of Imola, the lows of Spain, and same with Nigel as well. Unfortunately, both those two drivers have not had any luck then with safety cars either, unfortunately. And they are very much behind the 8th ball now, aren't they? Boxtel cannot get away from Milan. I think that Boxtel's going to need to pit again. I don't think Milan needs to pit again. I don't think Amy Hardware needs to pit again. I was surprised to see the soft tyres, but other drivers gone for the softs as well, like Green, like Chaza, like Immortal then. So maybe there is a scratch there. Maybe that was a mistake after all. But I am, as we got a Ferrari off it, oh no, it is Vesey off again. And he's gone into turn 1. And oh gosh, there's Milan there very close for no cigar. And Kez has got past there, Ekwal said. And now we have got, we've also got Immortal getting past Knowles as well in 67th position now. So it's a bit of musical chairs out there at the moment, isn't there? We've got Percy now broken into the top 10 as well. Oh, where's he off the circuit? I'm surprised we've got no safety cars, to be honest, around here yet. Then with the issues that the Ferraris having. Cooper has lost out to Sam Green and Milan is all over the back now, Boxstyle. I think those soft tires may have run their course here. So I think that the soft tires is the wrong choice then. As I think that we got yellow flags out there as well. What's occurred? Ferrari is off the circuit and Lights has dropped down the order there. I think Vesey is just having a nightmare race out there. Two-thirds race distance around here at the moment. Milan is now very much pressurising Boxstar in the battle for the lead. But the soft tires I don't think are working at the moment. They're going to be degrading quicker as well. I thought it was a mistake to put the soft tires on at this stage then. But at the moment though, it's certainly not working too well. It's never Boxstar, but look at this, Boxstar's harvesting. Milan is coming for him. But I'm surprised actually that Milan was going to just breeze past there, as we got a lot more overtaken as well. As now we have got AC Molson up in 5th position there. Keza is flown up into 3rd position there. Keza's having a very strong second half of the Grand Prix here. Unbeknownst to me, he is doing a superb job then. Past the Sloth, he's now on the podium now. Keza is in his first race for the AlphaTauri now. Stop trying to have a look there. No dice on there. We've got soft runners now though of Immortal coming through and Chaza as well. Chaza coming through as well. Then there's Vesey out to the Grand Prix. To be fair, we do frown upon pitting and quitting, but to be honest, I think that Vesey was having an absolutely nightmare of a day, wasn't he? Really, was having an absolute nightmare of a race here, wasn't he? Vesey was, and so usually if you're still in it, then yeah, it's very silly, isn't it? To pit and quit them, but I think in this race, Vesey just, I don't think he had hands on by the looks of things, didn't he? So disappointing stuff. So Boxstal is now stretched his gap ever so slightly, and we'll keep an eye on that then. We've got Keza, who is now going to have to start to defend now, but Keza, I think Keza's been driving absolutely superbly well, and Sloth off the circuit. Well, he's not off the circuit, so but it's very much hurt his progression down this back straight here, and look, Sloth through, Immortal through, and Keza down into 5th position. The DRS said quite powerful around this circuit, isn't it? As oh goodness me, we got some different opinions in the comments. Oh, good, really good there. I think we'll leave them to it for now. What we as Chaz now passes Equals, moves up into 6th position. Now Equals down into 7th. We've got Knowlesy and Percy fighting. Then Percy on the outside getting his recovery drive back in there. As Knowlesy almost having an issue there coming out of the traction zone there. Immortal now up into 4th position there. The gap at the front there, well, between second and third is about 6 seconds almost. Here comes the Williams from Immortal then all over the back now. A slot bend. Is he going to have a look then? Can these soft tires? Oh, he almost went to the back there. And Keza is going to use use the advantage there. But and he is through. Oh goodness gracious me, that's incredibly close race, and I absolutely love it there. And Immortals now might lose. Oh, I thought, and now that's Percy going through and diving his way up in the 7th position. Percy may be able to get a podium yet still in this incredible race. Good look at the front two then once again then. Front two and like 6 seconds in front there. Flying at the moment out there, aren't they? Here comes Keza going back in the 3rd position then. Here comes the Williams head. Can Immortal have a look then? He's going to try and get past one car if he can. Oh, not quite, and he's been forced out wide. And look, here's Percy on the outside of his teammate. Incredible! Percy up into 6th position now. Chaz is down into 7th. I unfortunately took the graphic off, so I wanted to see what's happening. Percy driving, I think, with a bit of fire in his belly now, is he? But he's up into 5th position. The Williams driver is oh my goodness gracious me. Boxstyle, Light's got a fast on race there. Of course, you get a fast on race wherever you finish. A yellow flag is out there. One of the Red Bulls has had an issue. Oh no, it's Toy Coin off the circuit. And Toy Coin there, he's going to get disqualified if he don't start moving. And goodness me, Toy Coin then going for an adventurous stride there, but unfortunately he's trying to get himself back on the circuit there. I think, is he stuck? I think he might have been beached there ever so slightly there. But Toy Coin, unfortunately the adventurous strategy then unfortunately it's unraveling here, isn't it? Now back on board with the Williams driver once again. Then Boxstyle leads 5/10 of a second, and he's still leading the now. I'm impressed with how long he's got those soft tires to go for. Here comes Percy, and Percy is now then going to be alongside Slop and alongside Keza as well. He has got past Keza. Let's get that graphic off now. Then up into 4th position now. Percy is next tire. Of course, Slop is in the podium place at the moment. Oh, Percy almost losing it altogether there, but keeping it on track. Then. Oh my goodness gracious me, that's how hard he's pushing. And Keza trying to go. He's a bit too far back to the moment. He's got a molt on the soft tires as well. Can Milan go for a 2nd Grand Prix win of the season? Can he get his 3rd win of his career? What about Boxstyle then? Can Boxstyle really another win for Boxstyle? It's going to in 2 races in a row. Boxstyle's going to win, which is going to very much fire him up the order. Red Bull is off the circuit, and I think that's Toy Coin. And unfortunately, the hard tires are only done 16 laps. I'm surprised by that, but they are struggling now then on Toy Coin's car, and unfortunately, it is not going at all well for the Red Bull driver. Now then, here's Percy. He is not going to get past just yet, though, is he? As he slows down into turn 10. Oh, but Slop has gone wide here. Look at this crocodile here. And that crocodile, and all the way up to Knowlesy in 9th position now. It has been a very close and entertaining race, to say the least. Flying into the final turn now, and out of it then, and here comes Percy now, all over the back of that Papaya McLaren. Percy alongside and takes the 3rd position then. And now that he's back on the podium then, so this is a great recovery drive from Percy. This is the kind of drive, Ben, this is the kind of drive that is certainly make a statement for the championship. Maybe Immortal is now joint leading the championship with Troy at this moment in time then, but of course he's dropping down the order. 5-second player for Nigel for speed in the pit lane. Unfortunately, it's just not going well for the silver champ tonight. Unfortunately, it hasn't been going well all season, has it? Which is such a shame then. We're now on board with Chazza. We've been watching briefing on it, but Boxstyle still leads the way. Then I still think he's got a Red Bull off the circuit. I still think that Milan still has the advantage here ever so slightly because he's on the harder tyres. I'm surprised how well the soft tyres have lasted, to be honest, on Boxstyle's car, but I do think that Milan still has the advantage of going on those hard tyres because they could last forever and a day. As Chaz is going very wide there. Equals, luckily for Chaz, Equals is a bit too far back, and the Aston Martin doing a great job. Equals is in this season, very good stuff to do there. Toy going out of the race turn as well, as it's just not good. That second, a very adventurous strategy for Toy Coin, but unfortunately it just wasn't to be in the end. as we have just got got a 3-second penalty. Milan is now starting to really harry the McLaren driver. We've got 4 more laps to go in this race still, as anything that can happen in this race, and it usually does in ALR. So the great Mario Walker used to say, but he did say ALR, he said Formula 1 of course. So very much on the edge of my seat still, because this one can be anyone's ball game at the moment there. The gap at the front is still about 6 seconds there between Percy and Milan and Boxtel, but I think Percy might be satisfied with third position today, potentially. Hats off to Nigel for keeping going, by the way. Good stuff indeed there. Markey, same with him there. Both drivers had a nightmare start then, but they have not retired just yet, and not retired so far in this one so far. So we got another bit of a lull in this race, haven't we then? Well, I say a lull, it's not really a lull at all, is it? It is very much then action-packed from start to finish, this one has been then. But we are just waiting now, as I forgot about drivers there. Yes, keep getting drivers day votes in there, ladies and gents. A very difficult one to choose this one, isn't it? There, Percy, Slop, Chaza and Keza. Yeah, get your votes in, ladies and gents. And of course, we'll see who wins driver day in the next couple of laps then here. Moltor is now past Slop and moved himself in the front position. This is very intriguing, isn't it? Because I thought it would be a straightforward medium to hard strategy here, but the soft tyres seems to be still working well out there for the likes of Boxtel, for the likes of Immortal, for the likes of Chazza. It's been very intriguing, these soft tyre runners. And Liam, yeah, is all over the back of Knowlesy. Oh, he is, and he's alongside Knowlesy, and now up into 9th position. Liam, yeah, is there in the Haas car. He is on medium tyres. I think he'd be the most comfortable, is to be honest, on the medium tyres. As the medium tyres, I think, is the preferred race tyre around this circuit, or it seems to be the race tyre on this circuit. Percy's got 75% of the vote so far. Goodness gracious, Slop on 12, and Chaz are also on 12 as well. I think that general consensus said is that Percy's great recovery drive has been pretty impressive indeed. That you see the flash of blue behind us here. Back on board now with Milan, then 4/10 of a second away from Boxtel. Boxtel, this is a very impressive performance for Boxtel. I'm in absolute awe of the man then who's driving on those soft tyres. He's been driving on those soft tyres for such a long period of time here. Here comes Milan, then he's running out of laps though. Milan is to take the win potentially here. Boxtel still leads the way into turn 1 though. Goodness me, and now here comes Sloth taking full position back off of Mortal. And we've got Keza and Chazza. No, we haven't. Yeah, there we have. There is Chazza now. Chazza. Oh, no, he's okay. He's back into 6th position now. I thought he was gone there. Done and dusted. Sloth has got penalty there. I forgot to mention the importance of that then, because he's going to be dropping all the way down the order here, isn't he? Keza currently in 7th position now in the AlphaTauri. Putting squeeze on the McLaren. Both McLarens are very much under the cosh here. Percy is flying, isn't he? Look at that, the gap is now under 5 seconds and that is very impressive indeed. And what a shame that Percy, what a shame that there's an incident. Otherwise, I think that Percy just now on board with AC Immortal at the moment. Then so Sloth then Sloth got 3-second penalty, but then I think he's the only driver. He is the only driver in the top 10 to get a penalty. So he's done. Unfortunately, the gap is so close. Liam is looking very fast at this stage of the as well. Good stuff indeed there for the second Haas driver. But unfortunately, that is going to put Sloth right the way down the order, maybe down behind Liam. Yeah, well, Equals now actually around Liam. Yeah, and maybe even knows this one. And so now up into 8th position. There does go Liam. Yeah, he's got a second deficit between himself and. He's got a second between himself and Keza at the moment. So driver day vote is still up then. Of course, Percy 75% of the vote at the moment. Good stuff indeed. So Milan then, who still hasn't got past Boxtel with just 2 laps to go in this race there. I must say that maybe I was a bit too, just shows I know nothing about strategy, doesn't it? Absolutely incredible stuff indeed that Milan has got 1 more lap back there. I'm absolutely shocked about how long those soft tyres have gone from. But Boxtel is very much doing a great job to hold Milan at bay here. Lap 32 out of 33 then. And can Milan get his... Oh, Boxtel's off the circuit. No, he isn't. Oh, contact! And I'm wondering if Boxtel maybe maybe he was trying to let Milan go here and then go for DRS. Because I would you reckon it was gamesmanship? With Tango reckons it was gamesmanship there, but Milan is taking the lead of the final lap of the Spanish Grand Prix with Boxan second, Percy in third position there, and Immortals now in fourth. And that's oh gosh, that's was being lapped anyway at Nigel. Oh, goodness me, that's going to be a bit of controversy, isn't it? Yellow flag in sector one there, and that is Nigel. Hats off to him for keeping going. Marquis might be able to get a point out of this. Very difficult race there for Marquis and for Nigel there. Hats off to those two drivers. They've done a superb job to keep in this one. Now Milan then he is going for his third Grand Prix win of of his career then as well. Milan has said, of course, this man then is going to be very happy at this performance tonight then with his teammates out of the race and potentially could have had a Mercedes 1-2. Nevertheless, then Milan then this is going to be a great he's going to be very happy at that when he gets out of the car. And they're coming out of the final turn as well, and now 13 and 14. There's a lot of tension in the comments as well as on the track then. But Milan coming over the finish line to win the Spanish Grand Prix, his third race win of the season, of his career, I say, and the second race win of the season, and the same amount now as Troy. He's got 2 as well. Magnificent, absolutely incredible stuff indeed then in the end there for Milan. Boxall second in the end, and he was leading most of the race. And Percy, great recovery to third, and Immortal in fourth as well. A great day for the Williams team, who will be very happy with that with the constructors there. Soft drop down safe in the end. Liam, great drive up to 7 there for Liam. Good stuff indeed then. Equals 9 knows he completes the top 10 there as well. Lights then just a bit of a miserable start then for Lights' career in the AlphaTauri, but Keza on his debut for the AlphaTauri gets in 6th position as well. He's going to be happy with that. Chazza once again driving superbly well, out of position in the qualifying, but the race trim, he is a master. But today, this is the master. It is Milan who wins the Spanish Grand Prix. And you'll be very happy with that then. Very happy with that then as we now go on to the podium celebrations, which I think that we are going to have a very interesting interview, I think, in a minute, aren't we, between Boxdown Milan and Percy as well. I think all 3 drivers might be a bit aggrieved about what happened in that race there. And my goodness gracious me then. I say that the race was about strategy, but there's a lot of controversy, a lot of incidents there, maybe a lot of very fired up drivers in the comments on the circuit as well. This is going to get very interesting indeed then, I must say. Oh gosh, and I've just realised that my boss of the squash is not actually I don't know what it is, but it is not. It's not the old raspberry stuff I normally have. Let's take a final look at the classification. Congratulations to Percy. He gets 60% of the vote there for driver of the day. Milan, his third race win of his career. Just in front of Boxstall, who finished second today there. Great job on those soft tires, I must say. 2 seconds behind them. Percy, great recovery from dropping down to 13th. Back up to third then. Immortal in fourth position there. Fifth position, Chazza. Great drive for Chazza. Keza on his debut for AlphaTauri in 6th. Great stuff. Liam, good to get 7th. Slough down to 8th. 3-second penalty cost him. Equals in 9th. Knowles, he completed the top 10. Green in 11th. Coop 12th. Mumford 13th. Lights 14th. Markey passes up in 15th. Nigel in 16th. Good stuff for Nigel and Markey for keeping going. Retirements was Toy Coin, Vesley, and Troy all retired them from the Spanish Grand Prix. And then let's come to Milan then. Of course, Milan, celebrating some personal news, but also celebrating the Spanish Grand Prix as well then. So, Milan, how are you feeling about that race? Looks like you was very much stalking at Boxstall for majority of the race then. Was you struggling to get past him, or was you just using the DRS?
Well, first of all, saying that it's personal news is criminal. That's just a made-up joke. But no, the race was good, to be honest. Like, Jordi did a crazy job on getting those softs to the end, and I was just following him to overtake him at the last lap. Basically that. I had an incident there with Percy, but yeah, water's wet. Yeah, just a good race. Shame of my teammate, but good points for the team.
Talking about your teammate Troy, what happened? Did he was you in contact with your teammate? Did he crash into the wall coming to the pit lane? Was it that bump that caused him to retire?
Well, if I can have the footage, well, I have the footage saved. But if I hear his voice, it's quite funny. He just went like full ham into the pit, and he grabbed the basically the bump, and he went in the wall.
Oh dear. I mean, I mean, I shouldn't laugh, should I? But I just like your reaction there. It's quite funny. But anyway, let's come on to the incident down into turn one. Now, you, Troy, and Percy went three abreast into turn one. Then, how are you seeing that incident from your point of view? Then, I said on the stream then, and so I thought I was leaning towards that maybe you should have backed out there. But of course, you know me in incidents, I'm always wrong. But what is your take on that?
Well, it's a hard one to be honest. I feel like I can understand people that say it's my fault, but I also feel that people say that Percy just needs to learn a bit of no line still, and doesn't need to break that hard or late. I mean, and just the rest. Yeah, Percy's a nice guy to battle with, but I don't think this was my fault. I'm just watching it back right now. Um, so if you have like 1 second, I can give my last opinion. So as you see, we're going down turn one. Besides his car basically, and he just brakes way too late. Also, almost takes out Troye. So that's going to be a report. Um, yeah, I don't think it was my fault, and that's it.
And then let's come on to the race itself. And this is your second Grand Prix win of the season. Then you were very much on a rich run of form at the moment. Then in terms of the season, of course, it was a bit of a difficult race last time out in Imola. Then, but now this is your first win as a full-time driver. Then going on to Canada in a week's time. Do you think that this is now where you're going to pick up the baton and going to pick up the baton and then just go full steam ahead then for the championship? We heard before that you were saying that you'd rather Troy to win, but surely you want to win this title too.
I mean, I want to win this title, but I feel like I'm just a little bit too unlucky. So I'd rather see Troye win the title. And yeah, just involved in some kind of incidents is unlucky. I feel like I can do something to it myself, but most of it is out of my hands as just like Sam Green backing me up for some reason. I know he's friends with Troye, I mean Percy. But yeah, he backed me up. He gave Percy a slipstream in qualifying, so that's all going to be a report. It's just interesting to see what's going on at the moment, but I'm yeah happy with my second win. I'm looking for more, but mainly that constructor championship.
Really good stuff today. Well done, Milan. Your third race win of your career.
Thank you.
Fantastic stuff indeed. Then very much action packed right to the end. Then boxed out. You finished second today. I got to apologise because on the stream I thought it was a mistake you going onto the soft tyres, but as Milan said, you was doing an amazing on those soft tyres there. Talk us about that strategy. Was that your plan to go soft tyres all along?
Yeah, it was planned to go on the soft, but not that early, to be honest. I completely forgot I was going on the soft, so um, I don't know how I got those tires to the end, but it works, so I'm really happy with P2, so can't complain.
I got to say that I was always keeping an eye on between you and Milan whilst everything was going on behind you guys. But I'm absolutely dumbfounded about how you got the soft touch there. That's fantastic stuff indeed. You are happy with P2, but do you feel that potentially because it looked like did you make a mistake out of turn 12? Because it looked like you had a bit. Did you have a swapper or something happened between yourself and Milan in turn 12? What happened there?
No, I wanted to get his DRS, but it didn't work that good. Um, but yeah, after that I just gave up the place and I just got for P2 at least.
And of course, you got a win in Imola last weekend, and it looks like that you're now starting to get on a rich run of form now. That qualifying session was crazy between yourself, Milan, and the other three drivers. Like it was all with under a tenth of a second. I asked you last week if you're back. You certainly are back now for we're second place here, and you're starting to really come into it as well. Do you think, though, maybe looking back at the end of the season, do you think that those four races may have cost you later on, or is it too early to tell? Of course, we are not Mr. Megs after all.
Uh, Maybe it's a bit early to tell, but it could have definitely been the 4 races that I lose the championship. But right now I'm in a good form, especially in the race. So yeah, I'm just glad with that. Also today, my pace on the medium was really good, and yeah, just keep on working hard for the race pace.
It's really good to have you back up here as well, Box. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then, and to be fair, all the drivers at the moment are having like other issues as well. So anything can happen in this championship, and I love to see it. And let's go into Percy. A great recovery drive to third place in the end, Percy. But yes, I think that the action point was down into turn one, of course, where you're in free abreast with the two Mercedes there. What is your thoughts on that incident then? And of course, talk us about your recovery drive as well, because you look very lightningly quick today. Do you think that the race win was definitely on the table?
Yeah, I definitely think the race win was on the table. First of all, I'm just going to say I'm not going to talk about the incident. I mean, I'm just going to leave it to the stewards. I've already reported it. I've already told Farf. He already knows. He said he was on board with me, so he told me to report it. So I'm just going to leave it to them, like we should do as drivers. But yeah, the rest of my race was fun. It was good driving and battling side by side with all the other drivers and getting past them cleanly. So yeah, that was what I'm here for. And getting back up to P3 was fun.
It certainly was. I gave you a discredit in qualifying. I think I said that your qualifying might be a bit of your Achilles heel, but said that. I think I did realise that you've had 2 or 3 pole positions this season, but not qualifying performance in the end. Then, how much fun was that then to be battling with 4 other drivers for pole position? How was you expecting that with this new format of circuit in Spain tonight? 'Cause it is quite a quick lap.
Yeah, no, on my final lap, coming into the second sector split time, I was about a tenth and a half down on Troy's, but I think obviously different downforce levels. I think I was running quite a lot higher wing than him, and then I think I was down about half a tenth, maybe 3 thousandths into the second sector, and then the final sector I gained about half a tenth, and I was only up by about 13 thousandths, but because it was that close between us top five, it was just those little margins managed to get me pole position.
Certainly did. It was one of the best qualifyings I ever seen. That was magnificent. And then, of course, unfortunately, it's been a bit of a difficult season so far for yourself, Barry, where you've been quick, but you have been involved in some shenanigans. How are you? How can you? Is there a way where you can like maybe like avoid the incidents, or is it just like luck of the draw? How? Because remember earlier on in the career of Vettel, he kept getting involved in incidents as well. How do you manage that, and how difficult is it to like keep yourself focusing? Because surely that's getting very frustrating.
Yeah, it's extremely frustrating. I mean, I've had the pace all this season long. It's like been talking to Farf about it, and he's just saying like I got to keep my chin up and stuff like that. Like, and so that's what I'm trying to do. But it's a bit disheartening when you come into a weekend, you're challenging for the win, and then you you just get shafted quite a bit sometimes. But it's the luck of the draw, like you said, and sometimes you have to take two to tango. So it is what it is.
Really good stuff today. Well done to all 3 of you. A brilliant race it was then. And that's going to be it then for gold tonight. And my goodness me, that was action packed, wasn't it? There, I thought it was going to be quite a straightforward race with mediums to hard tires. How wrong was I? Which means that tomorrow night for silver, I hope you've all been watching because because I think that might help you. Probably not, to be fair, because the strategy was all over the show, wasn't it? That's going to be it tonight then. We will be back then for silver tomorrow night. Knowles is going to be taking you through the action of the action. Of course, we've got bronze on Tuesday and then Formula 2 on Wednesday as well. But so now we go. So now that's going to be it then. And Serious Mushroom, last comment of the day: don't listen